Hi, it's Akilah Dia Amadi with Nura Magazine. I'm here today to interview Mr. Carl Brown. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm excellent. I'm excited about our interview today because, in my opinion, I think that we are moving into a time where people are just throwing those innovations over their shoulder and they're starting businesses. And it just seems like Black minority business is thriving.
It is. And what I want to see happen in the future is that we really be about business and not about business. And there's a big difference because if you're going to make the donuts, you got to make good donuts and they got to be done on time every day. And we can't have where, a shop is saying, I'm going to be open at 9 o'clock in the morning and we're going to close at 5 o'clock in the evening. And then you show up at noon to open up. And then, I've been waiting here for donuts for breakfast and I can't get them. It's about responsibility and accountability. And that's the reason why some businesses thrive over others because they're responsible, they're accountable, and they're ready to service their customers. So
Perfect. Before we jump too far in, can I have you formally introduce yourself with your radio host voice, please?
this, this is as good as it gets.
Come on, let me hear it.
Nah, I am the host of the Small Business Report on Sirius XM Channel 141. And I'm very fortunate to have been able to get that opportunity. And what we do on the radio show is really promote small business. Whether or not we bring on experts that are in various fields like human resources, legal, taxes, all of that, to help small businesses understand how they can prosper and grow and develop and become sustainable and create generational wealth.
Perfect. And we're here today at the Small Business Development Center, Howard University.
Yes.
And we're located on this beautiful campus where students are, gaining a wealth of knowledge of business and development. Please tell us about the office and your role here.
Okay. I am the executive director here, or state director. Titles are interchangeable. And I've been here about 3 years and 9 months.
Wow.
The center itself has been here since 1979. And I was actually here at Howard in 1979 as a freshman, running around the campus trying to get my education and find my way as a student. And so I've always, when I found out about this center, I've always wanted to be a part of it. And now to be the executive director is like a dream come true almost for me. So what we do here is we meet with small businesses and we help them with their business plans, their financial plans, strategic plans, marketing plans, branding, human resources, the structure of the business. We run the gamut. We have experts that I've hired as consultants to come in and work with the small businesses. And we've even had some board members like Marcus Johnson, the keyboardist. He's also a wine, produces a wine called Flow Wines. He's on our board and he even works with our customers. So we're very fortunate here.
Who is encouraged to come and pay this office a visit?
Everyone that is either in business or is thinking about going into business. That's who we're looking for. So if you just have an idea of, okay, I want to open up a donut shop or ice cream parlor, or we get a lot of restaurants now, or even you want to be a government contractor. So you come in and we sit down and we talk about it. I want to meet with you when you get that idea, when you get that buzz, because then we can help you from starting the inception process of putting together a business plan. And what is a business plan and how useful is it? A business plan is what I call the autobiography of your business. And that's why you have to write it, because I'm not going to write it. I'm going to coach you through the process and I'm going to show you how to finish it, how to get to every aspect of it. That includes financial projections and everything else, marketing, sales, how you're going to pay back a loan eventually and all that. So we work with you closely on that, one-on-one. And everything that we do here is free.
Mm.
The government is paying my salary, so you come in and get all of this for free.
What's better than that?
That's true. What's better than that?
You talked about business plan. I find that a lot of people don't see the value in a business plan because they don't know when they're actually going to use it. So their mind, a business plan is, I'll put my idea on paper, a couple of ideas on paper, and I might refer back to it if I get asked a question, but who's going to really see it? So you can explain the importance of it?
A lot of people are going to see it because what is the lifeblood of any business? Money.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going for a loan, you have to have a business plan. Now, some banks are saying, we don't need a 50-page or 30-page, but they want to see something. They want to see how you started out, where you are, and what your future holds. And they definitely want to know how you're going to pay them back. So before you get any money, you have to have a business plan. And you say, okay, well, I'm going to sell red widgets. That's what my business is going to be all about. And then you get in, you put that in your business plan. But then 2 or 3 years later, you feel, okay, well, everyone's buying blue widgets now, but I'm not selling them and they're not my business plan. So I better start selling them. And so you start selling them, blue widgets, and you go to the bank and there's only red widgets in your business plan. What's the bank going to say? Well, why do you need more money? Because you're only selling red widgets. Mm-hmm. And, no, I'm selling red and blue now, but it's not in your business plan. So you got to update your business plan when you change direction in your business. Mm. A lot of people, like some people might have started out and they own one pizza parlor, okay? And then they bought a burger place around the corner because it was lucrative. They never put it in their business plan. And they're looking for money for the burger place, and they go to the bank, and the bank says, well, hey, there's nothing in your company profile that says that you sell hamburgers. Mm. How are you going to get the money? And so it makes a difference. So that, people think that you take your business plan, write it up, put it on the shelf, mm-hmm. and you never need it. That is not true. Because your business plan is your road to prosperity. And along the road, you need to know where you're going. And when you get to a fork in the road, you need to know what direction to go in. Where am I going to go? And then especially when you get to the point where you're going to sell it, or you're going to merge with another company, where these things can be lucrative for you, putting, money in your pocket and creating generational wealth. You got to have all of that in your business plan. So it is a living document, not a dead document like a history book that was written 20 years ago. You put it on the shelf, forget about it. Business plan is a living document. Anytime, like if you're selling men's clothes, right? You say, I'm selling men's clothes. And I put all that in my business plan. But then, I say, well, look, women spend $1 billion more than men. Let me start selling women's clothes, but I never put it in my business plan. Mm-hmm. But then I need material for my new line of business, which is women's clothes. And I want to buy some silk, and I want to travel over to India, and I want to get it from these different places. Not in my business plan. No one's going to give me the money because it's not there. But if I put all of that in my business plan, they could follow the logic and say, well, hey, I could see how he's going to pay me back because he's going to go get the material at this rate. He's going to be able to make these dresses at this price point. He's going to be able to sell it. Mm-hmm. And the business is going to be profitable.
There you go. So you come across a lot of business plans. Have you noticed any trends of the type of businesses that are coming your way?
Well, I noticed that no one has one.
Oh, you don't come across a lot.
So we're helping a lot of people put together business plans. And some people come in, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people that come in with a business plan. And they're looking to refresh it. Especially like you've been around 10, 20 years. There's a lot of things in that business plan that should be in the business plan, and there are things that should not be in the business plan. Because say if I was a government contractor and at one point I had someone that was really into say IT, and now we're more HR focused because my IT guy and that department kind of split off and they went their own way. And I got all of that, all of the credentials and everything in my business plan that I no longer have. I need to get all of that data out of my business plan and really focus on what we are doing now.
Okay.
So it works both ways. Information that you have neglected to put in needs to be put in, and information that you have in there that's old, outdated, needs to be taken out.
Understood. So what opportunities do you see out there for business? And I'm thinking like areas of interest. So is it commerce, or you mentioned that you see a lot of people come your way wanting to get into the food industry, technology? What are some of the things or opportunities that you see?
Research,
Okay.
medical research, opportunity, anything dealing with geriatrics. Short term, long term living centers, assisted living, daycare centers for elderly. Lucrative business. Can't get enough of them out here. Research, medical research, drug research. We got this big thing going on right now with OxyContin, but people still need a pain reliever, but they don't want to get hooked on it. So that would be something. That's an opportunity for somebody to figure out. Your regular AIDS research, they haven't gotten a cure. Cancer research, they haven't gotten a cure. Different things like lupus, there's no cure. So those are areas that are very lucrative, and there's a lot of money out there for those. Another area that I would think people would go into is, of course, restaurants and social, aspects of, people like to be entertained at a low budget. Going out to have a meal is not a high level, but if you're going to a football game or something, you might spend a couple $100s for 2 tickets. Everybody has their own price point.
Right.
But if you're looking to entertain a family of 4 or 5, both people out here working and kind of struggling, they want to go out and entertain and have a good time, take the family out too. So family entertainment is big, in addition to the restaurant piece.
Okay. And how or what would you recommend for someone who don't feel like they have the capital? They don't know where to get the capital. You mentioned loans, but some people may be scared to take that route. So you have any suggestions?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of different ways to get money. Okay. And maybe going the traditional bank route is not for you, but there are other ways to get money. And I would suggest to anyone come into a SBDC. It doesn't have to be mine because we're located all over the country. But come in and see an expert because we know where the money is. And you have what is called community development financial institutions that can lend you from $500 to $50,000. And the amount of time it takes is not that long. There's a bunch of online banks that are available that are business friendly, like Cabbage, for instance. They'll let you know today. You put your application in, it's a 1-pager. You put it in, they'll let you know whether or not you get the loan or not, and they'll get the money to you by the end of the week. So it's not the old traditional way where you went to the bank and you had, you took a application that was about 8 inches deep, and then you gave it to them, and then a month later they get back to you. Those days are gone forever. Okay. Because people out here, angel investors and others, are making decisions daily.
Mm-hmm.
And if your idea hits a nerve with them, they'll go ahead and fund that idea. So those days of the 8-inch application process are dead and gone.
Well, that's one of the things that would definitely deter someone if they don't feel like they have the money, but it still costs to do business. So at what point do you think an organization or business is ready to start filing to register, incorporate, and take that route to become a legitimate, solid business?
It depends on the individual,
Okay.
and depends on the capital that is needed for the entry fee.
Okay.
Okay, so if I'm buying a franchise that costs $500,000 and I only got 300,000, then I'm not ready to go into business. If that's what I'm looking to do, and if I'm not leveraging any bank money and I'm just using mine. But the point of entry is different for everybody else. So say if I'm cutting hair, my license fee may only be $350. So I pay my license fee and I can start cutting hair tomorrow.
Right.
So it depends.
Yeah.
Can I be a good barber? I don't know. That depends.
Just have to figure that out when you get there.
That's right. It's that whole preparation thing that I was talking about.
Yeah, because a lot of people there, a little nervous because not only, you register and you file you do an LLC, but then you have responsibility of reporting and taxes, and that costs every year. So if you're not actually generating an income, it becomes a question of, should I have done this at this point? And,
right.
Was I ready?
And and that's a good question, because some people, they'll generate income on a side hustle.
Right.
And it's outside of your government domain, if you will. They don't have business license and nothing like that. I know a guy that used to bake cakes. And this guy, that was his thing. He had a government job, worked 9 to 5 in the government, but he came home and he baked cakes, and he baked them all night. And he would use 2 or 3 different people's ovens because he lived in an apartment building.
Oh my goodness.
And he was baking cakes. Oh yeah, he was baking because everybody loved his cakes. So he was really good at it. And so he was generating money and income on the cakes. And his cakes weren't that expensive, So he wasn't trying to knock you out with the price,
Right.
It was affordable. So, it covered his expenses and gave him a little profit. He wasn't making millions. He wasn't driving a Bentley or nothing like that. But it helped him make up his mind whether or not he wanted to go into that business full time. And at the end of the day, he decided not to, because he was like, well, look, I don't have the money, the capital to buy commercial ovens.
Right.
And at the time, that's what he thought he had to do. But now, fast forward, I know where you can go and rent like a commercial kitchen. So that's why it's important for businesses to come in and see us. That's right, because we know. We ask all the questions that you don't, because we try to find out and have those tools in our toolkit for you when you come in.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, though, using that same scenario, at what point is he required to then pay taxes?
Well, anytime you're making money.
And then, when
Uncle Sam's going to say that first cake you sold, you should have, paid us some money on that.
Okay.
That's where it is. But, everybody has a side hustle.
No, absolutely. And, we're just trying to help people who are entering the market to know, what is required and when they need to do certain things and when it's necessary and when it's not. And I know that we're talking, we're sitting on a college campus. We have a lot of side hustles going on.
Right.
It's like, should I come in and make this a legitimate business, but I might lose money on the back end, or should I, do it another way?
Right. And and that's a personal decision.
Understood.
I look at these guys every day. They out there selling water and soda and juice at the corner of New York and Florida. I see them every day, and I applaud them. But they're not going to turn that into a regular business. They're not going to open up a retail. They just make that side hustle money for them. They probably are not working anywhere else, and they're doing that all day. So that the job market creates that kind of thing.
We live in that type of economy where we can make those choices.
That's right.
What are some of the other common challenges that you see with businesses?
Preparedness. I can't say it enough. Accountability, preparedness. today, business over in England went out of business and affected thousands of people.
Saw that.
Yeah,
That's scary.
accountability. What were you doing with the money? If you thousands of people paid into that business.
That's why it's scary, because you had that much patronage. You had
Right.
that many people that bought a ticket
Bought
and
a
was ready
ticket.
to go somewhere.
That's right.
How did you?
What did you do with the money?
That fast, right?
Right.
So what did you do on the back end?
Right.
That you could have.
And that's why I talk about accountability. Now the other piece is preparedness.
Okay.
Are you prepared to do what you say you do? And a lot of people, they come up short.
Wow.
And it's very unfortunate. I was a government contractor, and I knew we had to deliver certain things on certain days. And I was not going to go in there and say, well, we didn't get the report because we didn't finish doing what we were supposed to. No. If I had to stay up 3-4 days in a row to make that thing happen, that was the sacrifice that I had to make to get it done, to hand that report in, to get my payment, to pay the people that depended on me, to pay them on time. Okay?
Let's talk about government contracting. How do you get in?
There's several ways you can get in, and we teach businesses how to do that.
Okay.
One of the ways you can get in, or one of the ways you can quickly get in, is you establish yourself as a subject matter expert in whatever that field may be. Okay. The government has that need, and they have the need because you see the RFPs that are coming out, which is a request for proposal. You see the RFPs coming out and spelling out in detail the exact background that you have. And they're looking for, 15 years experience or 5 years or whatever the case may be. And it may be employment law or anything else. And you have it. You check all the boxes. Well, you can go in and find out who currently has a contract. They have to give that information to you under Freedom of Information Act, FOA. You probably heard it, but didn't know what it was. I'm talking about the audience.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can get that information. You can find out what they bid on the project. All that information is available to you. They might have to pay $1 or whatever for them to Xerox copy of it for you. But that's minimum, because now you're armed with the information of how much they charge per hour and who the current contract holder is. And you can always call them and see if they have anything available, because they're already a government contractor. So you could be a subcontractor. Or you can, if you've been in business for a couple of years, you can get your own GSA schedule and go out there as a government contractor. Now, the only thing is you don't have any real past performance with the federal government.
Exactly.
But if you have state government experience or private industry experience, you could substitute that experience and put all of that on your capability statement, so that when you do meet with that government project manager or procurement person, you can discuss what is relevant to them based on the experience that you have. So it's not like you have no government contracts or clients, so I can't get in. If that were the case, most of the people that are working for the government would never get in.
Right.
Okay? So like I said, there's two ways to get in real quick. Get your own schedule or become a subcontractor.
How important is it to get those socioeconomic statuses such as minority business or women-owned business? Do you find that it helps?
It absolutely helps. But again, if that is your lead in the door, that means nothing.
Okay.
Your lead in the door should be your experience, your preparedness, your knowledge, what you bring to the table. And oh, by the way, I am a DBE, MBE, CBE, give them the whole alphabet. Because they're looking to check a whole bunch of boxes. So if you're woman-owned, if you're service disabled veteran owned, if you're hub zone, you want to have all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to level the playing field for you. And that's all it does, is levels the playing field. Because once you get in the door, you still got to do the work. And that's where the accountability and the preparation come in. Because you want to continue to keep doing work for the government, because they are the largest procurer of services and goods in this nation. All right? So I always want to be part of who's number one. They're number one. They're buying every day, and they're buying a whole lot of everything every day. And you want to be one of the sellers to that guy that's buying.
So let's talk sustainability. You get in,
Mm-hmm.
or you buy a building because you want to do some type of entertainment or food industry.
Mm-hmm.
How do you sustain?
Well,
in the long run?
Being prepared, being knowledgeable, being the go-to person. Say if you were in the restaurant business, right? And your name's on the marquee, all right, or the sign, the window. Everything stops with you. This is not like TGIF or whatever, where some corporation owns it and there's no accountability and your food was terrible and your service was bad and you go to complain, there's an 800 number and somebody in Nebraska is answering the phone and you're in Washington, D.C. What does it mean? Nothing. They may send you a drink ticket or something, or they might just throw your complaint in the file, But if your name's on the door, what I would do is I would stand at the front. When you come in, I would welcome you. I would seat you and your family, or you by yourself, or you and your friends, or whoever. I would seat you. I would talk to you about the place, what we offer as specials, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And there you get the same service every day. That's what you're going to get from me. Because that's what makes my restaurant different from the rest of them. Personal service.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in, man, I went to Carl's last night. Yo, the meatloaf was great, but the service was outstanding.
Right.
What happens? All your friends go. But if you say, man, I went there and the service sucked and the place looked great, and you think, oh, well, I was thinking about going there. Well, I'll go somewhere else now, because you heard that the service wasn't that good. And I'm going to tell you, we can buy advertisement all day,
Mm-hmm.
but when someone tells you that the service was good and the food was good,
I'm going to go.
that's right. And you're going to tell everybody else.
Right.
Because you want them to experience the good things that you have. So, yeah, I can buy 100 advertisements. I put it in 20 magazines. Don't mean nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But if I got people out there saying, hey, I went there and the drinks were good, the meat was good, the food was good, the ambiance was excellent, music was all right, people are going to come. That's one way. That's one way. But like I said, if you're a government contractor, sustainability is how good were you on your last project?
Mm-hmm.
Did you deliver on time? Did you solve their problem? And if you don't check those boxes, there's not going to be any sustainability. Oh, they'll tell you, oh man, she was nice, she was a great person, but man, the report was sketchy, didn't really answer the questions, and they were late with it, boom. Past practices will follow you.
Mm-hmm.
And you want excellent references going forward.
Thank you. Is there anything else that the office offers that we haven't talked about, or you want to share some of the goals?
Well, yeah, we offer free one-on-one confidential counseling. Everybody on my staff has a master's degree or better. They all have experience as small business owners. In addition to that, we do industry research, which is critical. A lot of people do not do industry research before they open up a business. We're on the campus of Howard University, great place, lovely place. there's a storefront open for rent across the street. Do you think they're going to put a Tiffany's over there?
No.
Okay, why not?
Location is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Industry research. A lot of people don't understand that. They don't know that. They feel as though I'll put a store there and they'll come. That's one mistake. Second mistake is when you don't advertise. See, friends and family are only going to take you but so far. And they're going to peter out on the first month. All right? And I don't care what you sell. They're not going to, even if you're selling water or air, they're not going to continue to come and patronize you. So you got to broaden your market. All right? And how do you do that? You got to get the word out. Whether it's social media or your standards like newspapers, magazines, or whatever. You have to get the word out. Because people don't know. They're busy. And if you're not on their radar, they're not going to patronize you. I've seen too many companies come in, open up, they look great, they have nice products, and then 6, 7, 8 months later, storefront for rent again. Why? Because every time I pulled up, they had no customers. You know, I go to a barbershop and this store next to it is a beauty shop. Every time I went there was no customers. They're gone now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. If no one knows you're there, they're not going to patronize you. And especially if you're in a very competitive market, you know. Now, if it was a geriatric center, you probably wouldn't need to advertise that much because everybody's looking to be able to place their mother or father or aunt or whatever somewhere for part of the day or whatever. But with in a competitive environment like beauty and restaurants, and I mean, you can some streets you could drive down, there's 10 different restaurants. What differentiates each of the restaurants? You know, why am I going to this one and not that one? You know, what do I know? Well, what we talked about a little while ago, I know that my friend told me that this one gives you great customer service and good portions. All right. And I'm a guy that likes good portions.
That's most of us.
So some other stuff that we do for free is loan, you know, we do what we call a loan package review. So you bring in your loan application for a bank or CDFI or whatever, and we review it for its completeness, you know, and hopefully what you put on there is accurate. You know, if you got a 541 or 425 FICO score or, you know, credit score, your likelihood of getting a loan is slim to none. Unless it's like a collateral loan, something like that. But we can find money for you. There's another industry that does factoring. And factoring is where you can show them accounts payable or accounts receivable rather, or a contract in which you're working on. And you can say, well, I would assign your company my invoices and payments. And they would give you money like an 80-20 split, you know. So they give you 80%, they keep 20. That's on the high end, but if that's the way you got to go, that's the way you got to go.
Right. Thank you. That's all the questions that I have. And again, if there's anything else you want to let me know, we can do that now, but he's going to edit the end.
Okay. Well, all I want to say is if you're in business or thinking about going in business, stop in. Come in and see us. All of our services are free. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 or 8:30 to 5. And we'd like to have you as a customer. And we are located in every state, Guam, Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, and American Samoa.
So there's no reason
why
someone should not be coming in if they have questions about their business.
That's right.
And not just if they're
Free
in
help.
business, right? And not just if they're in business, but if they're thinking about.
If they're thinking about going into business, that is the best time to get help.
Absolutely.
Because then you don't have bad habits that we have to correct. So we're looking for you. You know, the door's open.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Well, thank you again.
You're welcome.